Family vacations, where personal space does not exist, and somehow common sense gets left at home. One guy just wanted to chill in his usual room, but instead, he got a front row seat to something he never wanted to witness. And when he finally called them out for it, suddenly, he is the bad guy. Was he wrong for exposing his cousin's late-night activities, or was he simply enforcing the one boundary he set? Let us get into it.
Am I the bad guy for telling my whole family about my cousin spending the night with her boyfriend? My 19-male family has a shared vacation house where every family has their own room. The only exception is a second-floor room with 2 double beds, which is only used when my cousins from another state visit with their partners. Since that only happens twice a year, the room is usually vacant, and I use it to chill and work late at night without disturbing anyone. My cousin Mary, 21F, never slept there until she got a boyfriend, Lou, 18 male. Her usual room has a bunk bed, so they could technically fit there, but since they do not get many chances to stay together, she started using the second-floor room too. The issue started one night around 5 a.m. I was on my laptop facing away from them when I suddenly realized they were busy. They were quiet, but not quiet enough. I was deeply uncomfortable, but I just stayed put and waited for it to be over. The real incident happened last Friday. We arrived in the afternoon, and later that night Mary and Lou went out. I stayed in the room as usual. When they got back at midnight, I told them I would be on my laptop for a while, and, half joking but also very seriously, warned them that if I woke up to them doing anything, I would make a scene and tell everyone. We all laughed, and they went to bed. I went to sleep around 3 a.m., since I was exhausted from fixing my college schedule the night before. At 5 a.m., I woke up to their bed creaking. I was furious, but I just laid there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for it to end. The next day, I woke up late, around 1 p.m. My mom called me downstairs for lunch, and as soon as I walked in, everyone, my parents, my uncle, my aunt, my grandma, Mary, and Lou, was annoyed at me for sleeping in. Most of them were joking, but my parents were definitely serious. So I apologized and said, I could not sleep because some people thought this was a hotel for couples last night. Immediate chaos. Mary yelled at me, ran off crying to her mother's room, and Lou followed her. My aunt was furious, saying it was not my place to talk about her daughter's personal life, especially in front of so many family members. My parents were mad at me for creating drama. My uncle laughed, and my grandma barely reacted, just looked up from her knitting to ask if there was any dessert left. Mary refused to talk to me for the rest of the day, but she did not move her stuff from the room, and neither did I. Because honestly, I did not think I was in the wrong. I had warned them about what I would do if they crossed the one very reasonable boundary I set. My mom is still furious and says, I did not raise you like that, but I still feel like they got away with breaking my boundaries. Is this normal? Am I the bad guy for calling them out?
Okay, let us break this down. OP was not asking for much. He did not tell them, you are banned from the room. He did not say, I am policing your relationship. He just asked for one simple thing. Do not do this while he is in the room. And what did they do? Exactly that. And now, he is the bad guy? For reacting exactly how he said he would? The audacity. The absolute disrespect. But hey, maybe I am missing something. Maybe Reddit has some galaxy brain take that will change my mind. So let us see what the internet has to say. Are we siding with Team OP for enforcing boundaries? Or does he actually deserve some blame for staying in the room? Legitimate Mess 3310 says,
Not the bad guy. She was with her boyfriend while her cousin was in the same room. That is gross and weird, and honestly, I would have stopped them once I realized. She clearly does not care about being discreet. So, what is the problem with telling everyone?
Yeah. See? This is what I do not get. If you are going to be this bold, then why be so embarrassed when people find out? You cannot act shocked when the person you literally forced to be in the room with you decides to say something. And Erotiix Luna fully agrees.
Right? If she did not want people knowing, maybe she should not have done it in the same room as her cousin. That is just basic common sense. OP even gave her a heads up, and she still went for it. So, at that point, what did she expect? Actions have consequences.
At this point, it is not even about privacy. It is just disrespectful. OP literally warned them, and instead of listening, they thought, hey, he is probably bluffing. Spoiler alert, he was not. And then there is Fune Curves, who points out the obvious. If she wanted privacy, maybe do not treat a shared family space like a private hotel room. OP literally warned them, and they still went ahead with it. Right? The room does not even belong to her. She did not ask. She did not check. She just took it over and did whatever she wanted. And now she is the victim? But Western Fuzzy takes it a step further.
I am sure the house has bathrooms too. She could have used one of those instead of forcing her cousin to be in the same room.
Okay, now I am wheezing at the idea of someone suggesting the bathroom as the alternative. Like, this is a bad romance movie, and they are sneaking around like teenagers in a rom-com. But honestly, anything would have been better than what they actually did. However, not everyone is completely on OP's side like Dad Jokester.
Everyone sucks here. OP said he uses the room when nobody else does, but his cousin and her boyfriend literally do not fit together in a bunk bed. He has his own room, so why was he even in that room?
Okay, I get what they are saying, but let's be real. Even if OP was not there, do you think Mary would have asked for permission to use the room? Or would she have just claimed it anyway like she did? Because I am betting on the second option. And Claudia brings up a very simple solution that could have avoided this whole thing.
Then they could have asked, could we have the room to ourselves? Instead of surprising OP with their late-night activities. He is the only one who actually used his words at all. He literally warned them. The cousin could have just communicated.
Thank you. OP is not a mind reader. If they wanted him gone, they could have just asked. Instead, they decided to test their luck and got caught. And now they are acting like it is his fault. But for some people like Last Emotion, 6890, just calling them out was not enough.
Honestly, if that had been me, I would not have been so nice. I would have gotten up, grabbed a bucket of water, and thrown it on them. If you're going to ignore basic decency, you'll deserve a rude interruption.
Okay, extreme reaction? Yes. But also, I get it. Sometimes people need to face immediate consequences to actually learn their lesson. Meanwhile, Lyndon Lil Blue Balls is confused about why people are even defending Mary in the first place.
This sub is wild. Everyone is defending someone doing this in a shared space after being warned. Why is OP expected to just leave? He was using the room first.
Exactly. People keep saying, well, OP could have just moved. But why is that his responsibility? He was there first. Mary was the one who decided to change things. And finally, Escalator Bobbalator questions OP's choice to stay the second night.
Why did OP refuse to leave the next night, though? By that point, the obvious solution was to move his stuff back.
Okay, fair point. OP staying a second night does make things messier, but at the same time, why did they not ask him to leave? Instead of, just doing whatever they wanted and hoping he would magically disappear? All right, here is where I stand. From the perspective of an Asian female who grew up in a household where privacy barely exists. 1. Mary and Lou were beyond bold. Like, next level no shame. I grew up in a house where you could not even close the door without getting questioned. So the idea of doing this in a shared room with a family member right there, knowing he was awake the night before, that is unhinged behavior. If this had happened in an Asian household, the entire extended family would have been notified before breakfast. There would be no recovering from this. 2. OP is not completely innocent either. Look, I get it. He was there first. And honestly, he had every right to be mad. But by the second night, he knew what was up. At that point, just switch rooms and save yourself the drama. Personally, if I had to deal with that nonsense the first night, I would have packed up my stuff immediately and been like, "Y'all are disgusting, I'm out." 3. The family's reaction is exactly what I expect from a family that does not want to actually deal with the problem. Classic, stop making drama energy. Like, hello? He did not cause the drama. He just narrated it. And somehow, he is the villain? In an Asian household, this would not even be an argument. Whoever got caught would be humiliated on sight. The aunt would not be defending her daughter. She would be yelling at her for bringing shame to the family name. At the end of the day, OP is not the bad guy, but he stayed in the mess longer than he had to. And Mary? She is lucky she is not part of a family that gossips in group chats because this would have followed her for life. But what do you think? Should OP have just left the room quietly, or was he completely justified in calling them out? Let me know. And if you have ever been trapped in a room with an inconsiderate couple, drop your most unhinged stories in the comments. Because I need to know, how bad does it really get?